Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to PowerDrift. Welcome to New Delhi. And while there might not be too much new about Delhi, there is a whole lot new on the new Hyundai Venue. It's bigger, it's taller, it's wider, it's got a whole lot more features on the inside, and we'll walk you through everything that's changed. Now, the variant we have with us today is the N-Line, the sportier variant of the Venue, but a lot of the changes here are the same as the one on the standard Venue. So it starts with the face where you have this massive light bar going all across the front. It's actually quite a thick cladding, whereas the light bar is pretty slim. And it makes this angle and comes down onto the new headlamps, which are a big unit at the bottom. To me, this reminds me a bit of the XCV9e, more than a Hyundai brand language. Yeah, sure, there's a little bit of the Creta in here, but it definitely looks a lot more imposing than the previous or the outgoing Venue. On the N-Line, you have a sharper bumper, so you have these slats going across here, some red detailing in the front as well. These are functional air vents here. It's an air curtain to sort of smoothen out the airflow, and you have some sculpts on the bonnet as well, and a nice flat Hyundai logo. Overall on the front, it's definitely got a lot more presence than the standard Venue. To me, it looks a bit over-styled in some places, but speaking of styling, let's move on to the side where you have these far more pronounced wheel arch haunches on the Venue. We had it on the previous gen Venue as well, but these are a lot more pronounced and do take some cues from the Tucson and the Exter as well. Now, on the standard car, this bit is plastic and is like cladding, but on the N-Line, it's body colored. You have this silver garnish here, and you have your red striping going all across the side as well, and some sportier skirts as well. I like the N-Line rims. They look really nice. Again, at the back here, very pronounced haunches all across here. Especially from the rear 3/4, you can really get a sense of how much they've flared these arches. Up to you whether you like it or not. I'm personally not a big fan of it. But again, on the standard car, you get all of this in plastic. So there's a lot of plastic cladding happening on the standard car. And this brings us onto the rear, which is actually my favorite part of the new Venue. It looks really very, very nice. You have a single light bar going all across the back, and your brake lights and your parking lights are here. I think it looks very, very nice. On this N-Line here, mimicking the stuff on the front, you have these slats on the bumper and nice dual exhaust tips. I think it looks very, very nice. We've seen this on N-Line cars before. I think it looks fantastic, and if you're getting a Venue, I would definitely suggest getting the N-Line. You also have this new panel here with the Venue lettering here and a new rear quarter glass as well, because yes, this is a little bit longer than the outgoing Venue. The extension in the wheelbase is 20 millimeters, and that's the important bit. This remains a sub 4 meter SUV, but extension in the wheelbase gives you more space on the interior, and that's exactly where we'll head next. So we'll start with the rear seat, and there is a decent amount of space here. Thigh support is good. It's definitely not up to the mark of something like a Kia Ceros, which is what you might think. So when I first heard that the Venue is getting bigger, I thought they'll go straight up with the Ceros size. It's not the Ceros size if you're wondering, but it's still fairly comfortable. The front seats are scooped out a little bit as well. You get AC vents in the back here and 2 Type-C ports. You also have an armrest here with cup holders. It's actually a really comfortable place to be. You also have sunshades that you can put up, really nice quality sunshades. And this rear seat also has a 2-step recline. So right now it's in the most reclined position, but you can, if I could figure it out. Yeah, okay, this is the less reclined position. So this, as you can see, it's not a huge difference, but it definitely adds to the comfort. So this is normal position, and I lift it up and put it back, and now it's in the reclined position. Really nice. You also have a headrest in the middle. No, you don't have a headrest in the middle. So only 2 headrests in the back, but of course, 3-point seat belts and all of that good stuff. And now we can move on to the front seat. Okay, so now the interior is again a big step up for Hyundai in terms of the Venue N-Line. Firstly, you have 2 12.3-inch displays. These are actually bigger than the ones on the Creta. So really very, very impressive. And the UI is super, super smooth. Like, it's very, very fluid and very easy and nice to use. As you can see, like, the main screen has all these nice large buttons for all of the stuff you're going to use very often. I really like the way they've done the UI. I also like the fact that they've given you physical controls. Big screens does not mean you take away physical controls. You have physical controls for your air conditioning, for pretty much everything else that you would want physical controls for. And then you have your steering wheel, which is different on this N line. I think it looks really nice. This stuff, so you have your drive modes here and your traction modes here. And it's very AMG Porsche-like steering wheel. I think it's very, very nice and very sporty and nice and chunky to hold. With the N line, we've always liked the steerings they've done, and I think this is one of the best. It looks and feels really very, very nice. Again, lots of physical controls here. None of that touch-sensitive stuff happening. So this is for your cruise control, and this is for your media controls, and you have paddle shifters at the back as well. Okay, now N-Line versus the normal car. The N-Line has a black interior with a bit of red going on, red piping here as well, and a N-Line specific gear selector. On the standard car, you have a blue and cream interior. So I personally prefer this all black theme, but if you get the standard car, you will get a slightly more unique interior color. Down here, you have two Type-C ports. You have a wireless charging pad as well, and you can also press this button to turn this port from just charging to connecting to USB. I think it's very convenient. You might be confused as to why they would give you that option, but if you're using wireless CarPlay and you just want to charge a few devices and not bother with having another device come in the middle of the way and connect, I think it's really nice. Very well done. New key as well. So it's egg-shaped. It looks interesting for sure. Lock, unlock, and your hold to start. Personally, not a big fan of this key. It's plasticky and very light, but looks interesting. Maybe a talking point for later. One more thing, on the steering wheel right now, you have the N logo. On the standard car, you do not have a Hyundai logo. You have the 4 dots, which are the Hyundai H in Morse code. Speaking of the Hyundai H, they also say they've done these vertical slats of the AC and this center strip going across as an H pattern. Sure, I guess. Designers can say some stuff. Anyways, you have a sunroof here as well on the top. No panoramic sunroof, but you have a nice sunroof that you can have, sunshade on top. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Plastic quality is okay, pretty much similar to what we've had in the previous Venue. On this car, it looks a bit black and maybe a little bit plain Jane, but it's actually really nice quality. I like the way they finished this part as well. I'm just scared it might get scratched up. But yeah, automatic parking brake, ventilated seats, and all of that good stuff. Now let's just get out and speak about variants and pricing. Okay, so in terms of engine options, on the standard Venue, you have a regular naturally aspirated petrol, which makes about 80 horsepower, perfect for city driving. You also have a diesel engine, which is available with both a manual and an automatic now. And you also have the turbo petrol with 120 horsepower, which again gets a manual and a 7-speed DCT. On the N line, you only have the turbo petrol, again with the option of a DCT or a manual transmission. So very comprehensive range of engine options. They've also rejigged the names of their variants, so it goes from H2, H3, H4. It's basically H instead of having the sports and the Asta and stuff like that. So slightly easier to remember. The N line variants are still the same, so N6, N8 and N10. And that's about it. It's right now 9:45 a.m. and we're going to get to know the prices at about 2 p.m. today, which is about when you're going to be watching this video. We'll put the prices in the comment section, but expect it to be pretty similar in terms of pricing to the outgoing Venue. It's a very competitive segment. They can't really outprice or go up on price in terms of in comparison to their rivals. So expect it to be similar in terms of pricing. Maybe the top end variants will be about 50, 60, 70,000, maybe a lakh of rupees more expensive, but that's about it. And before we end, let me show you what the N line sounds like. No.